Wow. All right. Best insurance advice available in the world for free or your money back. So this is great. I want to go to one of the biggest things that ends up being asked in the life insurance agent discussion group. What are your thoughts on leads? And Van, I saw you last week, and you were with Bankers Life for 16 years. And admittedly, you said the only reason you survived was because they had leads, probably orphan policies and things like that. How and when did you make the transition to creating your own prospects and appointments rather than, and of course you admit you were fired, so maybe you had to, but I wanted to kind of get your mindset shift going from being dependent on the lead source to creating your own.
I don't want to take a long time here because I want to leave time for Tom and Jim. I hope everybody will stay on, but I hope you'll laugh at this. We used to have a guy named Paul Harvey that advertised us, the White Cross plan. I got a lead one time. I'll show you how bad of an agent it was. The lead said, "Dear Paul Harvey, God bless you, Paul Harvey. Will you please send an agent to our home to sell us insurance?" I blew that sale. That was a little bit. And so I want you to understand, I know both worlds because I'm not a year or two, I was 16 years a dirtball. There's no other way to explain it, a dirtball. And please, if you'll laugh with me, I hope you'll laugh. I'm still a dirtball. I just sell a lot of insurance now. So anyway, the key is easy. The key is easy. Ready, everybody? It's learning to have great conversations and ask people about what it does, not what it is. If you could find a way to never lose any money ever again, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, would that be a benefit you'd be interested in? See, it's a question. They right away it raises their thing. I have another question. I go to people and I say, what if there was a way you could be the beneficiary of your own life insurance policy while you were still alive? And I say, wait, don't answer. You know why I'm asking that? Because what do most people think you have to do in order to collect on life insurance? And they say, well, you got to die. And I say, well, I'll tell you what, I'd be happy to pay you any amount of money you could ever declare if you can prove to me that we've ever sent any money to a dead person. That's not called death insurance. It's life insurance. It's there to take care of the people we love, the businesses we've created, and the charities we have consideration for. And watch, I lean in and I say, if you think I want you to die, I don't. What if I could show you all the living benefits that you could have complete success, not only for financial and retirement success, what if you could use the same exact dollar for protection? If you died too soon, if you had a critical illness like a heart attack, stroke, or cancer, if you needed long-term care, if you need any of those things, what if you could use the same dollar to protect all of those things? But if you never needed them, you wouldn't have wasted 1 cent on any of those things. If you knew like something like that was available, tell me the truth. Do you know anything else in the world that can do what I just described to you? They don't. See, we keep talking about policies and interest rates. Please listen to me. This is so important. Every one of you sell the best life insurance policy in America. There's no way to declare who's got the best because you don't know how many people are going to die. You don't know what the interest rates are going to be. You don't know anything. So the only thing that matters is, will the strategy do what you promised it will do? And any policy you plug in, if you help them achieve these things we just described, you have the best policy in America. And if you can't leave this talk right now, understanding and knowing that, then to be honest with you, I failed.
Open a Taco Bell.
It's about the product. It's about you. You're the magic. You're the key. You're the person that will make it all happen. And the only way that you can prove to people that you care about them is not by talking about you, but by asking about them. Sorry, please don't finish this little thingy, but I get kind of wound up with this because for me, prospecting is so. I'm 100 appointments behind right now. I'm not kidding. You don't want to sit next to me on a plane. You don't want to sit next to me in a bar. You certainly don't want to sit next to me at a sporting event because they drip on you. I don't talk that. I say, man, isn't it something what's going on in the economy? Do you think they're going to raise the hell out of our taxes again? Gosh, you're going to just let them, and I drip on them. I sold a guy, I'm standing underneath, he's changing the tires on my car. I'm standing there. I don't know a thing about cars. Why is that rust there? Will that hurt my car? So, no, and I said, boy, you know why I'm wearing out all these tires? Because we have to call on all these people because the government's going to come and take everybody's money because they don't have any money, and they're starting to develop all these strategies where they're going to take all this. And the guy looks at me and goes, it's funny you bring that up. He goes, I just inherited $600,000 from my uncle, and I was trying to figure out what the hell I was going to do with it. Do you have any recommendations? Guess who bought my tires? I sell people in grocery stores. I sell people. My dry cleaner has their insurance with me. My butcher. I don't sell them insurance. I ask them questions. I have conversation. Like Tom said, I have conversations with them about life. And do you want to be in control of your life, or do you want to let the Internal Revenue Service, Wall Street, and the banks be in control of your life? You pick.
You want to go, Jim?
I'm just going to say, I wanted to say one thing here that I think is so important. As you're watching, as an audience member watching this, you got to remember something. The biggest question since 1927, when the MDRT first formed, and of course, I think in that year they asked for the biggest concerns that advisors had. Prospecting was it. I'm sure that was the case before then. And every single study since then has always said that prospecting is the biggest concern. Here's the thing: what you just heard from Van Mueller is also the biggest answer to that problem, and that is asking the right questions to intrigue people. In the CFP, they say that the first step is supposed to be engage the client in writing. Here's the thing: the actual first step in the financial planning process is to entice engagement. And that's exactly what you just heard from Van, and you'll hear from Tom, and you'll hear from a lot of other people that do this well. They have those great questions that intrigue people, that inspire people. I mean, I can listen to Van and Tom all day because they inspire me. And you know why they inspire me? Because they're inspired. In terms of creating or getting that link to convert a name into a prospect, to someone you can sit down with, it's that inspiration that comes from those great questions. And that's what you hear out of, a zero personality guy like Van Mueller. Please, Van, you lie to your friends, I'll lie to my friends, but let's not lie to each other. The man is inspiring in a way that gets anybody interested. I love that man just for that reason. But let me just say this, but while I'm on the same track with respect to about leads. Understand this: people talk, especially on the life insurance agent discussion group, they talk about buying leads. Buying leads is such a big deal. It nauseates me. You've got to be kidding me. We're buying, and there's how many? Only 335 million people in the United States, and we've got to buy leads. Okay, I guess if you don't know anything, I guess that's fine. But you can create your own leads. You can shop for leads, and there's so much I could say about this, but you can shop for leads on social media if you wanted to. There is so much you can do with the connections of your connections, with the connections of your best clients, with the friends of your best clients on Facebook. There is so much opportunity, and this is all just a digital version. Here's the cool thing. This is just a digital version of what we used to do in the 70s and 80s with mail. And the difference is mail took weeks. This takes minutes. So why you would want to do this, I don't know. But if you learn the questions that Tom has, you learn the questions that Van has, if you apply that to a digital world, do a little of your own homework or hire somebody. You can create your own leads. You won't be buying anything and then wondering, well, are they too aged? Are they stale? Are they good? Are they bad? Man, you can do whatever. And you know what? You can write your own ticket if you learn how to do that. And there's so many ways. That's just one. Tom?
When I meet someone for the first time, when they're interested in what it is that we do, I'll ask them, how do they prospect? What is their means of getting a hold of people? And they'll say either I buy leads. I met one guy who spent $50,000 a month putting together a radio show. And I thought, you know what? My goal in life is to have you spend nothing, zero, for a lead. I'm going to show you how to talk to people. And I use this analogy. I will ask a group of people, especially insurance agents, how many people did you see last week? And because we are always asked that question of management, we go to our appointment book and we yell out a number: 10, 14, 36, 4. I only had one. Well, you answered, how many appointments did you have? My question was, how many people did you see last week? The average person prior to COVID saw over 200 people a week. And unfortunately, you had nothing to say to 191 of them. So what if I could teach you how to become a person of interest? Because that's all Van does. I was picking up sod, and the guy says, well, what do you do for a living? And I told him, and he says, Jesus, I've got to talk to you. Okay. When I sat next to the person in the first class and I told him what I do for a living, he says, oh my God, would you teach me? I said, no. He said, what? I said, no. You want to become a person of interest? Become scarce. Scarce. Stop giving it away and start holding what you have so true to yourself that you're only going to give it to those people you want to do business with. Stop giving this stuff away. And what, for example, if Congress were to announce today, we came out with a new Roth, it's going to have no 1099, none. It's going to be 100% tax exempt on the growth, 100% tax exempt on the distribution, and 100% income tax exempt on the heirs that will receive what's left over. Would you buy that? Well, of course. That's been in the code since 1913. It's been hiding in plain sight for 108 years. And then I want to finish with this. All Van does is become a person of interest. And he doesn't do it by saying, I'm the smartest guy in the world. And he's just simply piquing your interest with the crap of knowledge that's in his head. And all you have to do is make the mistake of knowing, ask a little bit more. You're going to write a life insurance check. Sorry, that's how it works. It's not because this is more important than that. It's what this does that is so much more important than that. And I want you to, there's two things. And thank you, Jim, for the comments about, inspiring. One of the neatest comments that in Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why, I don't know if he said it in his video. There are leaders, and then there are those who lead. Leaders simply hold a position of power, yet those who lead inspire. And that's really what you have here, are people who inspire. Sometimes it's going to fall on deaf ears. Okay. And sometimes you're going to get the friendship you never thought you could enjoy. And it's right there in front of you. And the last, I'm going to give you a plug. I also wrote a book on how to turn clients into advocates. It's easier than you think. And it all starts basically with you. And the biggest difficulty we have in our industry is getting a referral. And I believe the worst thing we could do in the insurance industry is to start a sales presentation by saying, I'm entitled to get 10 people you don't like as a refer. So here's my point. If you have a hard time explaining to somebody what you do for a living that makes any sense at all, here's what you've done. You've asked your brand new client to introduce their friends to someone who cannot even explain eloquently what the hell it is you do. And then we wonder why we don't get a good referral. I don't want to be known as a big case writer. I do not. What I want to be known for is helping people solve problems. And if I could be referred as a problem solver, I could be referred at a funeral, at a sporting event, at a wedding, because I've solved problems. It's not because they bought life insurance. I'm done.